Hello everyone and welcome to the B&B Motorsports channel. My name is Braylon and this episode goes out to all of my American muscle lovers. I will be reviewing a 1969 Malibu. Before we begin, huge shout out to Todd.
The Chevrolet Malibu's lifetime spanned from the model years 1964 to 1977. There are 3 generations of the A-body. This 69 is a member of the second generation. I'm sure you've noticed the Malibu is sporting Chevelle badges and trim. While not trying to represent itself as a numbers-matching Chevelle, the owner loves the cosmetic enhancements of the SS trim. This episode is special as this beauty is up for sale. If you're interested in more information or want to get in contact with the owner, message me on the B&B Motorsports Instagram. The link is in this video's description.
Let's check out this engine. It's important to note that the hood release is in the bumper instead of in the interior.
While this car was born with a traditional SBC and 3-speed automatic transmission, this A-body is powered by an LS2 from a 2005 Corvette. The 6.0 was good for 400 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 400 pound-foot of torque at 4,400 RPM. The only external modifications include a cold air intake and full-length headers. This modern 364 cubic inch piece of Detroit muscle flexes its muscles through a 4L65E transmission.
The power is transferred via an aluminum drive shaft to the Moser 12-bolt rear end that is stuffed with a TrueTrack differential, 30 spline axles, and all the traditional upgrades that make this survive all the horsepower. Notice also the rear disc brakes, the larger sway bar, and more importantly, the QA1 double adjustable coilover shocks.
60s muscle cars ruled the drag strips in their prime, but rarely did they like the curvy roads. So, Todd's Malibu has been upgraded with rack and pinion steering, larger sway bars, and 4-wheel disc brakes to keep all 4 tires planted on the asphalt during the curvy roads as well as straight-on stoplights. One of the biggest pros of this vehicle is with all of these performance part upgrades, now it can compete with 90s or even early 2000s muscle cars. With every muscle car, there will be a con. For this vehicle, it is when it's time to fill up. The nozzle actually goes in right here, so it's kind of an inconvenience. It can be a stretch, and you can't be on your cell phone. Moving on to the black leather interior. Up front, you have bucket seats from a GTO, and the back seats are stock. Take a look at the door panels where there are the manual roll-up windows, and in just a second I will get you a look at the dash where you can take a peek at the Dakota digital gauges. Let's talk about some of my favorite things about this interior. The modifications have given it a luxury that just wasn't available back in the 60s. So some of my favorite things include the Dakota digital gauges, which I'm really looking forward to trying out on the drive. Second, these bucket seats are much more comfortable from the 04 to 06 GTO than the flat seats back in the 60s that are not very comfortable to sit on. And third, the addition of air conditioning. I absolutely love it. I am all here for it. Now, a con would be the manual roll-up windows and no power locks, but that's just a minor inconvenience I'm not too concerned about. Let's check out the key. We have our ignition key and something you don't see too often for 60s vehicles. We have a key fob. As I had mentioned before, there are power locks, so we have our lock, unlock button, and remote start button. Let's go for a drive. The view over that cow hood is unmatched. It is so sporty, so mean looking. I absolutely love it. Now, I had talked about the Dakota digital gauges earlier in the video. I really like those. It's a nice touch and I prefer them over the stock gauges. Now, one con that I have come up with here, this shoulder harness, it's a 2-piece, so it clips on, and I think that would get inconvenient over time. I honestly would just prefer to use the lap belt, even though that is less safe. Let me tell you guys, this thing is an absolute beast. When we sit at stoplights, it lopes. I wish you were sitting here in the back seat with me so you could just feel it. It's so raw, so aggressive. That is really American made. I am in love with this car. I also really like how there's tinted glass that helps keep that Missouri heat out. A concern I do have, the C-pillar back there is fat and it is hard to see out of when you're checking your rear view mirror or you're going to switch lanes. I think the owner did a great job with all of the upgrades. There is no play in the steering wheel like you might expect from a vehicle from the 60s. All of the performance parts have really enhanced the drive quality, and I'm sure the ride quality for my crew as well.
I tell you what, I really like this. It stays flat on the curves. The QA1 double adjustable shocks are set perfectly.
That was fun. Let's head back for the final review. I hope you all enjoyed this review as much as I enjoyed driving and filming this amazing car. If you have any questions about the car or are interested in it, feel free to reach out to me via my Instagram, send me a DM, and I will get you in contact with the owner if you're interested in purchasing it. I've missed you all so much, and I will have some more content rolling out for you in the coming months, so be on the lookout for it. Until then, I'll see you on the next Motorsports Monday.